Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm playing with my pearlescent paint still, but this time I'm going to puddle the paints on the canvas and all I'm going to use is my finger. I'm literally going to swirl my finger all around the canvas, mixing in the black background and the pearlescent paints, and I can't wait for you to see this because I think it's going to be really exciting. I've not just used my finger before just to do all the swirls, so hope you can join me throughout the video. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see what we can create. So I've already painted my sides of my canvas with lamp black. Here's my base colour and all the pearlescent paints. The ratios and the mixtures are all listed in the description box below, so be sure to check that out for more information. But first of all, it's about getting the base right. And what I mean is it's about ensuring that there's a consistent layer across the base. So I always pour my mixture directly into the middle of the canvas. And then what I do is I stretch it out slightly towards the edge, but I don't ensure that the full canvas is covered at this point. So I'm literally going to pick up my canvas and just tilt slightly from one way to another. That's going to help spread out the black paint as my surface paint for this design. As I said, I'm not going directly to the edge because the paint that I puddle on top of the black will add volume to the surface area, and then that will mean that there's enough paint on the canvas to stretch it out to create a composition that I'm looking for. So I'd really like the yellow in the pearlescent range to take centre stage with this piece. I've had to label each of my cups up because let's face it, when you mix up your pearlescent paints they all look white. So that's 3 puddles of yellow, and now I'm going for violet. I'm just puddling the paints on top of the black paint that's already on the canvas. That's going to really help with the interaction and the reaction of the paint itself. It's going to help the reaction of the paint in terms of the colour that it should be. So at the moment you can see that everything's white, they're just white puddles. I'm now adding some red, again just in small puddles on top of the canvas itself, ensuring that there's enough black paint to react with the pearlescent paints and stretch out across the whole design. So I'm now going to take my blue, but I'm going to do something totally different to what I've done before. And I'm going to just drizzle the paint in a zigzag motion in between the puddles that are already existing on the canvas. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to have the blue act as like a shadow. So in my mind, I'm thinking the blue colour will be a shadow against all the other colours that we've already puddled on the canvas. And that's the main reason that I'm doing the blue this way. There's a few air bubbles, so I'm just going to take my torch and pop any of the air bubbles that are within the mixtures of each of the paint colours. And now for the fun. So all we're going to use is our finger. We're not going to use anything else other than our finger. So place your finger, immerse it completely in the paint so you're touching the surface of the canvas itself. And just move your finger around in circular swirl motions. As you can see, I'm not lifting my finger up, it's staying within the paint, and I'm literally doing a design within those puddles. You'll see that my finger is creating many lines, and that's the detail that I'm really looking for. So I'm basically mixing up all those colours we've already layered and ensuring that they really infuse together using the finger swipe. And you can already see here all those lines, and you can also see some of those colours already reacting with the black base coat. So we've got the detail what we want on our canvas surface. So it's now about tilting out the design and deciding what edge to push off first, and moving the paint that you've already got on the canvas and pushing it over the edges and down the sides. So when you pick up your canvas, get a feel for the paint, tilt it from side to side, have a look at how fast that movement is on top. So when you do tilt over the edges, you can expect the speed of the paint to be what it is. So as you tilt, don't forget to move the paint back on the canvas and back on itself. That's going to help you ensure that there's a consistent coverage of paint, and it will also allow you to play with the paint that you've already got. You can see there on the edges how those colours are already reacting. So I'm just going to turn my canvas round. I'm going to place it down, step back, and really have a look at the design as we start stretching it out. Remember, have in mind what side and what edge you want to stretch first, and then tilt your canvas, allow the paint to flow over the sides, and then bring it back on itself. And this part of the process is very much about looking at the creation that you're making, looking at the design that you're creating on top, and looking at the overall composition of the piece. And it's really up to you how much you tilt. Just be happy with the design that you're creating, and then once you're happy with your finished piece, place it down and remove all the drips around the sides. And just like I'm doing here, I'm having a really good look at the overall design on top. And if you want to tweak it slightly, don't be scared to pick the canvas back up and tilt some more of the paint either off the edge or move the design around on the surface of the canvas that you've already created. This is about creating a composition that you're happy with. So let me show you some of the detail of this wet version, and I'd really appreciate it if you can give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, share it out if you can, and remember, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, it's free to do, so hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. By doing those things, it really helps me engage with audiences in other locations that are not yet familiar with me. And I really appreciate all of your support in helping me reach other people that might be interested in what I do. So thank you so much in advance. I really love this section here because you can see so many different lines, and that was achieved easily by just using your finger. As you remember, we puddled the paints on the canvas and just used our finger to create those details. I'm going to show you the dried version, and I'm so happy with how it turned out because the blue that I really wanted as the shadow has worked. Yellow took centre stage, I really love this colour combination. I didn't use all of the pearlescent colours that are in the series, but I've just picked certain ones for this piece. And those blues really do help with that shadow effect to help those other colours really pop out and stand out. And I really do enjoy the detail of the block colour and the lines that were created. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had as much fun as I have had showing you this piece. And let me know if you do something similar too, because I'd love to see what you create. Thank you again for all of your support. Have a great week ahead, and I'll leave you with some of the other details. And I really hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.